Shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things in which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. I'm not sure about many of you brothers, but one thing I look forward to as we transition into the new kingdom, the curses coming off of us and transitioning over to the heathen nations around about us. Because we know this is also part of prophecy as well. Because as we turn back to our power and seek him and love him with all our heart, our mind, our soul, with fear and trembling, he told us in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hateth thee and persecuted thee. Remember, all prophecy has to be fulfilled. The Lord said, none of my words shall return unto me void. And we're starting to see the tip of that iceberg. And what do I mean by that? I'm sure many of you brothers might have heard about this situation with this 32-year-old woman that posed as a high school student. And if you haven't, I'm going to bring you up to speed very quickly here. But listen closely to the details, and I'll chime in shortly. Let's get right into it.
Now to the 32-year-old woman accused of posing as a high school student. She faces new charges after pretending to be a traumatized child while collecting a salary as a Massachusetts social worker. Trevor Ault has the story. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, George. So investigators say this all began when a man claimed he was withdrawing his daughter from school because she was bullied, even though she had just enrolled in that school a week prior. And school officials thought something was up. Prosecutors now say that student was actually a woman in her early 30s.
So you have to understand, a person has to have a legion of demons on them, right? For you to be an acting social worker, and then you enroll in 3 different schools claiming to be a 13-year-old teenager. Let's continue.
This morning, the Massachusetts woman accused of posing as a Boston Public Schools high school student now facing multiple felony charges. Investigators say last year, 32-year-old Shelby Hewitt enrolled in 3 separate schools, presenting herself as a teenage foster child as young as 13, going by the names Daniela and Ellie.
In reality, the defendant was a woman in her early 30s who had attended both college and graduate school and was employed as a social worker.
Prosecutors allege while Hewitt was working as a social worker at the State Department of Children and Families, she created multiple names and dates of birth for herself and several fake social workers to spread a false narrative she was an extremely traumatized child with significant special educational needs. 16-year-old Janelle Lamont says she befriended Hewitt in school when the pair had 3 classes together. She says she suspected Hewitt had some mental health troubles because she'd have outbursts in class, but never suspected she was a different age.
Let me stop right there. Because did the Lord plague us as the children of Israel with mental issues? Absolutely he did. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 65 tells us this. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. This is where you get your bipolar, schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress disorder, so on and so forth, right? See, through the Spirit, the Lord is starting to put these curses on the heathen nations around about us. Let's go from there to Psalms chapter 55, verses 4 through 8, and it states this: my heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death have fallen on me. Fear and trembling have beset me. Horror has overcome me. I said, oh, that I had wings of a dove. I would fly away and be at rest. I would flee far away and stay in the desert. I would hurry to a place of shelter, far from the tempest and storm. If you consider something, when the Lord put these curses on our enemies, remember, part of the curses that were on us, these curses will pursue us and overtake us, no matter where we would go, right? So that's what he's doing to these heathens here. Let me go back to the story here. Listen closely.
Different age.
I was definitely shocked, and my friends were definitely upset because we accepted her as just like one of us.
Boston public school officials alerted authorities this summer after administrators discovered a DCF form had been filled out incorrectly, and the social worker listed on the form was not actually an employee there. Prosecutors say Hewitt didn't act alone. She had two purported foster parents, one of whom is another social worker. Hewitt pleaded not guilty this week to 9 counts, including felony forgery, identity fraud, and larceny. Her attorney insists she was never a danger to anyone.
She's a person who's had a lifelong history of mental health challenges. She's in treatment, and she's working towards making herself a better person.
And Hewitt has been released on $5,000 bail under conditions that require her to stay away from schools and anyone under 18. Guys?
See, you have to get ready for that. If you're a heathen listening to this lesson here, get ready for lifelong mental issues and lifelong challenges. And that's thus saith the scriptures, because the Lord is going to pay all the heathen around about us double for what they did to us. And of course, Psalms chapter 83 outlines who are all the nations that conspired against us. And I won't read all of this. I'll just read a few precepts. Psalms chapter 83. And this is David's plea. Keep not thou silent, O God, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that have hated thee lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? The children of Israel. It goes on to say, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no longer be in remembrance. For they have consulted together against us with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And look who it names first. Who's the ringleader? The tabernacles of Edom. You see that? That's why in the kingdom, Edom won't exist. First Maccabees. Remember the scriptures state, let everything be established on 2 or 3 witnesses. First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 10. What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? They all are guilty. They all are going to drink from that cup. Let's go from there. Consider this. The book of Obadiah states this. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. One more precept and we'll close up. Revelation chapter 18 verse 6 states this. Give back to her as she has given. Pay her back double for what she has done. Done to who? The children of Israel, the apple of the Lord's eye. Pour her a double portion from her own cup. Let's go to the King James Version. Let's see how that's written there. It says, reward her even as she has rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill to her double. It's going to expect more mental issues, more heathens bugging out, losing their damn minds, right? Because the Lord is going to take these curses off of us and put it on them times 2. Hopefully, this quick lesson has been edifying, brothers. Shalom.